Hello everyone, I hope that you are doing well. So without wasting any time, let's move to the newspaper. First we will identify the important news and then we'll move on to the analysis section. So this is Monday, 2nd May 2022, the Hindu Delhi edition. As usual, we'll be first identifying the most important news with respect to our examination and then we will go on to analyze the same. Okay, so let's begin. The first news, key conspirator 5 other held in not required, will boost ties with Europe. Okay, civilian leave besieged steel plant in not required. Rituraj convoy start in CSK win over SIO not required. Okay, April GST revenue go past 1.67 lakh crores. Just remember this, that the GST revenue is almost 1.7 lakh crores. Okay, just know this thing, because GST has been the largest source of revenue for government in this budget, right? So XMLA not required. There is nothing else here. E-Shram to help settle worker accidental claim. We will see this. Operational ready not required. Delhi University should restart not required. Okay, so page 1 done. Let's sit on page 2. There is nothing out here. Now on this page, let's see. No, there is nothing out here till now. Okay, coming soon to you, jungle safari in Gurugram's Aravali range. Okay, not required. Look, this concept of jungle safari, okay, is an example of eco-tourism, right? So whenever we are dealing with either services sector or tourism sector, we can use this example. Okay, now let's move further. Maharashtra, no, nothing here. Bengali publishing industry scripts its rivals. No, nothing is here. Okay, no, nothing is here. Let's come on the editorial page. The Third World War talk that could be hyperbole. Look, if you want to read it, you give it a read. As per exam point of view, it is not important. It is just a hypothesis that some people are saying that Third World War will happen. Some are saying that it won't happen. It is the other side. Mr. Narayana is on the other side, that it won't happen. Okay, he's a very versatile author, but as far as our exam is concerned, this editorial makes no sense to read, right? For knowledge purpose, you must read it, but in general, it won't help you in examination, in my opinion, right? Ending FSPA, it is an often recurring news. Reading from the old script, conceding election 20 not required, not at all. Mercury rising heat wave death must be treated as a disaster that allows compensation by the state. Okay, we'll give it a read, because I don't see how state will compensate for rising heat waves, so I have to read it to understand what actually the article wants to say, right? And let's see, funding woes haunt Indian science as usual. The third thing, three things are always a problem in India or other: fund, functions, and functionaries, right? So it is talking about funding. Okay, I always say that. Okay, look, per se examination, you know this point, that yes, this is there. You can at most get examples from here, right? To write 1 or 2 examples, not more than that. I don't see anything else you can be getting from here, although I'll be giving it a very brief read, but I don't think that it won't be there. Yes, you can have a solution in form of NRF, right? Let's see very briefly, we'll see what kind of solution it may promise. Okay, so the other is invigorating Ayush industry, its generation into mainstream system will give wider acceptance to traditional system of country. Okay, we'll give it a very brief read. Direct question on Ayush I don't see. Yes, a question can come on health infrastructure as a large, and in health infrastructure you have to write with respect to Ayush as well, right? Ayush industry is an important part of health infrastructure nowadays, right? So let's see on the other page, text and context page. Delhi dual government as usual will give the reading to the gist only. Look, these topics are recurring in examination, and UPSC has stopped asking these topics now, that which article deals with the Delhi government and legislature and what are the power, why they are at loggerhead. They won't ask this. If they have to ask, they will ask in mains, and that too very briefly, if anything very controversial has not happened, right? If anything controversial happens, then we'll give it a read. The recent woe in jute industry, yes, we'll see what is the problem in jute industry, right? Because jute industry may be in crisis, and here it is a new abstract. So it is a, already it is the paper or hypothesis of author, right, based on research, right? So it is not a very accepted fact, yes, but it can be a new perspective. We can write it, the content, if possible, in way forward or solution section, right? What change accepted / expected changes, right? These things we can, in these things we can write these new ideas. In fact, this is abstract is nothing but new ideas, right? Okay, is flammable the same as inflammable? Set to fire. Okay, not required at all. Let's see, 6 more healthy, not required. Okay, key post of national, not required. BL Chandrasekhar, BL Changemaker award entry, open. Colombia, no. Look, Prime Minister is saying that he will try to, or India will try to strengthen the spirit of cooperation with Europe. Yes, we try to strengthen the spirit of cooperation with all the countries, because international relation is based only on 3 things, and those things are national interest, national security, and trade and commerce, right? And strengthening relation with strengthen all 3 of them, therefore it is important. Just try to understand the basic, everything is related to one another, right? Now let's see other thing if it is there. Again, JNK delineation, nothing is there. Keep health facilities prepared for heat wave cases, say center. Okay, we'll give it a read, because heat wave is very recurring. It happens every year, and but this year it is expected to be much more intensified, right? So we have to see. Railway restructuring led to closure of major wings. Srest closed 32, and 32 directorates merged from 7 verticals. Demoralizing employees, not required. Pawan Hans scale, not required. No, nothing on here. World civilian evacuation, Nepal, no. Saudi Arabia offered 8 million financial support. Islamabad plagued by inflation and sliding forest reserve. Yes, Islamabad, yes, Pakistan is obviously plagued by a lot of inflation, which is not actually good. I have a data for you. In about 600 odd rupees, we get 4G, right, in Geo or competitors, but there they spend about 25,000 per month on 2G. This is the in their rupees, right, Pakistani rupees, and this is Indian rupee, right? So this is the comparison of what kind of inflation is there in this data sector, right? Okay, there's nothing out here as usual. Right, the Gujarat Titans are at top still, and your Chennai Super Kings and Mumbai Indians are 2 last teams, right? There is nothing out here. So with this we come to end of identification of most important news. Now let us go directly to analysis of the most important news, right? So this is our first news. E-Shram to help settle worker accident claims, right? So E-Shram is a portal. Okay, it is a portal. Let's see what government has to do. Direct benefit transfer via unique ID. Okay, DBT. Okay, this is also a very good initiative. DBT is always good because it reaches directly to the beneficiary without a middleman, right? So chances of corruption get reduced a lot. Top functionaries of Union Labour Ministry said that last week that ministry was working on mechanism to process accidental insurance claim by unorganized worker on E-Shram portal. Okay, which has seen over 27 crores registration so far. The portal was launched 6 months ago with aim of creating national database for unorganized worker. What was the aim? National database for unorganized worker and facilitate social security schemes for them. Among the promises made then was the worker would be eligible for 2 lakh as accidental insurance. A senior officer of the ministry said discussions were on to link the E-Shram portal with Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, the center's existing accidental insurance scheme. Okay, and there would be DBT through E-Shram unique ID number. The official added that UID on E-Shram portal carried the same series of employee provident fund or organization. Okay, it will be same as UN, right? Was in work. Okay, so mechanism for disposal also on work. You understand now? So E-Shram portal will become a, it was what? Initially it was data, right, in collection portal, and okay, therefore create national database. Now it is what? Now will be linked with Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, right? So that insurance claim could be easily settled, fine, through a unique ID. So this was here in this news. It's a very good initiative by the government. It would definitely reduce the burden on the public, right? Now let's see the next news. Nothing was there on these pages, I remember. So let us directly, yes, as usual we'll be doing the editorial text and context pages at last, right? So let's see the other most important news that I have already discussed. There was nothing else. Keep health facilities prepared for heat wave cases. Okay, provide uninterrupted power supply, ensure availability of medicine it does state. Okay, so 2 things is there, power supply and availability of medicine. Okay, now power supply versus coal shortage challenge is one thing, right, and medicine, you know, versus there are many challenges, but yes, we have come over many of these challenges, right? So medicine won't be that problem. The availability, more than availability, it is affordability of medicines that is a major problem, right? Affordability is a major problem. How would the poor afford that, right? Health facilities need to increase the resilience of extreme weather by addressing uninterrupted electric supply for cooling applicants, installing solar power panels wherever feasible, and taking steps to reduce indoor heat through special roofing, window shades, and other such measures. Okay, the health ministry said on Sunday. The ministry has written to chief secretaries of states and all those things to review, advising that preparedness of health facilities must be reviewed for availability of adequate quantities medicine. Okay, sufficient drinking water. So availability of sufficient drinking water at all the health facilities and continued functioning of cooling applicants in critical area must be ensured. Okay, that is that rainwater harvesting and recycling plants may also be explored for. Okay, rainwater harvesting can be done. Fine. The ministry said that regional and monthly outlook for India's meteorological department for March may forecast above normal maximum temperature in many areas of the country and much higher temperature in central, western, and northern parts. These are things. Standard templates, you give it a read. I don't think it is important, just I'll read the standard templates. The health ministry had disseminated a standard template for public health advisory incorporating do's and don'ts prepared by National Center for Disease Control. It added that this can be used as a template and customized to suit local needs. Yes, so it has given a template and it could be customized as per to suit the local needs in local languages for wider dissemination. He urged to disseminate the guideline document National Action on Heat Related Illness to all districts. Okay, so it is also a good initiative, right, to have a guideline document, okay, on heat waves, right, and this is associated with it. This will lead to better performance of India against such challenges, right. Now let's see the other news. There was nothing out here, nothing here, nothing on this page as well. So yes, with this we have come to end of the analysis of the news. Okay, now we'll move on to analysis of the editorial, right. Makari rising, this is our editorial for today. Heat wave death must be treated as a disaster, okay, that allows compensation by the state. Now this is a little problematic. How it can be compensated by state? What are the criteria that should be made for such compensation to become effective and to exclude both inclusion and exclusion error? Let's see what the author has to say, then I'll give my viewpoints. India has been in grip of what seems like an entity of heat wave. April temperature over northwest and central in India are highest in 122 years. During April 1 to 28, the average monthly maximum temperature over northwest India was about 36 degrees Celsius and that over central was about 38 degrees Celsius. The average Billy measurement at the district and sub-divisional level, where several parts of Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, Gujarat, Maharashtra have seen temperatures inching towards mid-40 and reach normal. There is little respite expected in May, which is anyway hottest month throughout India, though the IMD says that while North and West India will continue to sizzle on expected line, must likely brace more heat waves. The rest of the country is unlikely to see levels of March and April. A heat wave is declared, now this is important, a heat wave is declared when maximum temperature is over 40 degrees Celsius and at least 4.5 notches above normal. But it is for, I think, as I remember, it is for continent, means a plain land, but for mountains it is different. A severe heat wave is declared if the departure is more than 6.5 degrees Celsius, okay, according to WMD, right. The proximate case for surging heat are an absence of rain bearing western disturbances. So what are the causes? The near dear cause, the proximate cause is absence of heat bearing western disturbances, okay, rain bearing western disturbances that bring rain from Mediterranean over North India. Cool temperature in Central Pacific, okay, it is one of, or the La Nina conditions that normally aid in India to have failed to bluster rainfall this year. This is unusual occurrence. Maybe IOD is in opposite phase, right? Therefore, it is not allowing La Nina to bring rainfall. Okay. Despite 5 western disturbances among April, none of them was so strong enough to bring significant rain and depressed temperature. The IMD has forecasted a normal monsoon or 99% of LPA of 87 centimeters. So what is our long period average? 87 centimeters, and is expected to forecast monsoon arrival over Kerala later in the May. On surface, there is no direct bearing between intensity of heat wave and arrival and performance of monsoon. In fact, even as northern India begged for want of rain, April saw monthly rainfall break a 4-year record with high rainfall in several parts of southern and northeastern India. May 2 is expected to see 9% more rainfall over India than usual, though it must be kept in mind that base rainfall is so low in this month that it is unlikely to make a mark. While individual weather events cannot be linked to greenhouse gas level, a warming globe means increased instances of extreme rain events and extreme rainless spells. What is better known, it is help to have disaster management plans in place that states better deal with heat waves and their impact on health. The official toll due to heat wave in last 50 years is about 17,000 people. According to IMD, the heat island effect means urbanization adds degrees to already searing condition, and so heat wave that must be treated as a disaster. Fair enough. That merits compensation. Private and public workspaces too must be better equipped to factor heat wave risk. Now, this entire article tried to summarize the causes of heat waves, the effect of heat waves, and just in one line it says that heat waves must be compensated. But the question arises is on what grounds it can be compensated. What are the criteria that need to be fulfilled for compensation? You can declare something as a disaster, it's perfectly fine, and in my opinion also heat waves should be declared as a disaster. But how compensation, right? If the temperature increases, government has nothing to do with that, and so are with the citizens. Now, if the level is set that about say 40-degree increase or something like that, then you never get the compensation. So why are you demanding compensation to such an abstract thing? Yes, if it could have been very objective, or it could have been very easily objectified or very objective to point out that these are the criteria, then it could have been okay. But as far as contemporary times are concerned, I don't see that things are coming on the parts of this compensation merits, right? Although in future it may be, when we more properly understand monsoon and the relation of monsoon with anthropogenic activities, then yes, compensation may be one of the possibilities, because that will also help to guide the anthropogenic activities towards a more sustainable and climate friendly path, right? But as far as now is concerned, I don't see eye to eye with it, right? And let's see the next one. Funding whose haunt Indian science, as I've already said, that these are the problem fund functional functionaries, and the solution charted out is NRF would be a game changer by intent of democratization of knowledge base, right? Okay, so it is National Research Foundation. Okay, let's see this one. The NRF important announcement of NRF and a huge infusion and all those things. For 5 years for deep ocean research and all those things. We have here 4 centers for biological research planned to be an autonomous body and therefore less bureaucratic. NRF was expected to bring thousands of colleges and universities under its ambit. As most countries, scientific research being conducted by government laboratories, fewer premier institutions, new and all the, it can be a game changer of decentralized democratization of knowledge base, right? But it is anybody's guess why the current year budget was eloquently silent on this initiative. Look, it's a good article. It would be a good article. It is talking about an idea called NRF, National Research Foundation, that brings together both public and private parties involved in research. Okay, funding by government, it is also there. So funds are solved, functionaries are solved, functions are solved. So it could be a very good body, a very useful body that can lead to prospering of Indian science, right? Know it as a way forward. Okay, don't stress too much on this, because a direct question I don't see coming. Yes, it will be a question regarding the larger picture, like say space technology related, that how science and technology budding in India would help us to colonize Mars or something like that, right? So in large context, yes, you can have a question, but only science and that too funding of science, I don't see a question directly on this. Yes, on 3Fs, fund, function and functionaries, yes, you can expect a question. That's very relevant. But as far as only funding is concerned, it's very irrelevant and very less likely to be asked, but still it can be asked. So I just suggest that you write it down, that this is a problem and this is the expected solution, with a pinch of salt that it must be implemented properly, right? Ayush industry, yes. Health infra, again, this would also be a more or less article only with respect to our examination. Health infra requires what? It requires medical practitioners. It requires knowledge base, modern, traditional. Modern led by allopathy, traditional Ayush, plus food, sanitation, water. These things are there. These are intrinsic to Ayush practices, so it will aid in here, and therefore we need to invigorate the Ayush industry, its integration into the mainstream system, as I am explaining here, right, will give wider acceptance to traditional system of the country, and this wider acceptance will lead to what? It will lead to better dignified life of Ayush practitioners. Okay, give it a read. I don't see very much relevance. Yes, you can have one or two data from here, but that's okay. You don't need to put everywhere data. Ideas are there, and data are just there to support those ideas, right? Now let's see the next one, text and context page. The Delhi dual governance conundrum. How did constitutional bench of Supreme Court ruled on power of Delhi government vis-a-vis lieutenant governor? What follows this? Now what has been the story? Delhi has been flashpoint of, yes, power struggle, but 2015 was this thing. However, the absence of statehood for Delhi, there has been a prolonged confrontation on relative okay, this thing statehood. The state of Delhi, being a UT, is under Schedule 1 of Constitution, but christened on National Capital Territory in 2014, put dynamic of relationship between state and central government under severe strain. Yes. Supreme Court ruled that LG shall act as a facilitator rather than annotating himself as an adversary to the elected Council of Ministers. At the same time, court ruled that NCT of Delhi cannot be granted status of a state under the constitutional scheme. Okay. After the constitutional bench laid down the laws of the broad issue involved in contested questions were listed before a two-judge bench. While one judge found that services were totally outside the purview of government of NCT, other held that service officers below the rank of joint secretary and under secretary are under control of government of NCT. Okay, not required that. If you want, give it a read. For exam point of view, it is irrelevant. What are the woes of jute industry in West Bengal? Is West Bengal jute industry really under crisis? What are the main reasons for it? Let's see the story so far. MP from Barakpur constituency in West Bengal met textile minister, appraised him about the issue concerning jute farmer workers and overall jute industry. Okay. Mr. Singh later said that meeting was very positive and expressed hope that it would be resolved soon. Okay. Let's read the now just. Mills are procuring raw jute at prices higher than what they are selling. Okay. After processing. At September 30, 2021, notification mandated that no entry would be allowed to purchase or sell raw jute at a price exceeding 6,500 rupees, right? So there has been a cap on jute prices, and this has led to what? Losses of the industry. The cyclone Amphan, the natural cause. Okay, subsequently major state aggravated the crisis. Bangladesh provided cash. Okay, Bangladesh provides for cash subsidies for varied semi-finished and finished jute products. Hence, the competitiveness emerged as a challenge to India export to jute. Right. Okay, which could have acted as compensation for domestic scenarios. Right. So yes, there are challenges. There are three kind of challenges. One is your institutional. Other is your domestic. Third is international. What is this international challenge? Bangladesh domestic challenge, less demand. Why? Pandemic, reduced per capita income, out of fashion. Institutional, price capping. Okay. A new perspective on fertility and income level. Researchers argue that empirical observations that have guided economics till now no longer hold true, saying inverse relationship between income level and fertility has either flattened or reversed. Now it says inverse relationship between income fertility level, let this be fertility level and let this be income, right? So there is an inverse relation, but now it says that in today's world it is not this. In today's world it is either like this, it has flattened, or it has changed. Like both are the possibilities. Yes, to some extent, yes, it is correct. But overall, we have to wait to see if it is not just only for pilot project, but it is also for the larger picture, right? So know this just as an idea. Let it work a bit. Then we'll see how we can use it in examination. Okay. So I think with this we come to end of today's newspaper, right? We have identified the most important news, followed by analyzing the most important news, and then after analyzing the editorial, op-ed, text and context, 2 pages, right? So as usual, your homework, write in comment box which articles you will use as an example case study in which answers, right? So with this I end today's newspaper session. Okay. So friends, I really hope that you like this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe our channel and share this video with your friend. Follow us on Telegram as well. Also, keep studying hard, keep following your dreams and keep tuned to our channel. Comment below for any suggestion. Till then, goodbye, good luck, keep studying hard.